Hi, my name is Camee Garcia, and today I will be talking about the COVID vaccine, herd immunity, and how those two can help us here in the United States and the rest of the world get back to a normal life, COVID-free. Do you remember a time where you could go to the grocery store without a mask, where you could travel wherever you wanted, whenever you wanted, without having to, one, get a vaccine, two, provide a negative COVID test result, or where children could go to school without having to wear a mask? I do. And I know that that can all be our future if everyone is able to consent to receiving the COVID vaccine and getting behind herd immunity. The COVID vaccine benefits outweigh the negatives, and if everyone can get on board, herd immunity will bring normalcy back into our lives. So first, let's discuss what is herd immunity. According to an online article done by the Mayo Clinic, they explain herd immunity in two ways, because there are two types. So basically, the first is there's a virus, everyone gets sick, they gain the immunities, and eventually the virus goes away because there's not enough people left to get infected. The other is pretty much the same, but instead of everyone getting sick, we get sick and get the vaccine. So if everyone were to get the vaccine, there's not enough people to get sick, and the virus eventually dies. That is herd immunity, and that's why it's important that we all receive the vaccine. What's also important to understand about herd immunity, which is also spoken about in the Mayo Clinic article, is that not everyone needs to get the vaccine. So there are going to be people who just flat out won't do it. And that's okay. But what we do need is we need as many people as possible to get the vaccine in order for us to be able to overcome this this virus. In the article, they also explain how the stronger the virus, so the more serious it is, the more people that need to be vaccinated. Well, as we all know, the COVID-19 virus is very, very contagious, and it's very serious and very dangerous. So we need as many people as possible to get this vaccine to be able to create a herd immunity. So next, what exactly are the benefits of herd immunity? Well, herd immunity is important, one, because it will kill the virus and we'll be able to go back to a normal life. But in that normal life, we can also have time with our families without worrying about their health and safety and the health and safety of our own family and, our economy. If we can get people back out and in the public working, doing the things that we are, people will be able to make money. More jobs will be able to open, more businesses will be able to open, and we will be able to start pushing for a stronger economy. And job scarcity will decrease, and then also eventually poverty will decrease, because I know that poverty right now is at an all-time high. Also, the next point that I want to talk about is what are the major hurdles with this vaccine? If it's so easy, if it's just like this, why is it not happening? Why has it not happened already? Well, there's a lot of hesitancy with the vaccine. The first one that I know that we're all very, very familiar with is people are scared. People believe that the vaccine is unsafe. And to be honest, they have every right to believe that. I know that I had a friend who asked me if I was worried that the vaccine was going to cause infertility. I'm 28 years old. My husband and I plan to have another child. And I told her point blank that no, I was not. Because of the research that I've done, there was an article that I read in the Hopkins Journal of Medicine where they explained that where this whole idea came from with infertility in women was from an article that was published a couple months back, talking about a protein that was in the virus that led to abnormalities of the placenta and then also placental detach while pregnant. And that's a very scary thing that can cause infertility, that can cause fetal death, and that's scary. But in the article, the Hopkins Journal of Medicine, they talked about how that protein is very similar to the one that's actually in the vaccine, and it's not the same thing. And they talked about how that protein doesn't do that, and it actually just helps our body create immunities to fight off the virus in the future. In fact, they talked about a recent study that was done with 18 pregnant women. They all decided to go in and get the COVID vaccine. All but one had healthy pregnancies. One of the 18 who did experience child loss actually was one that received the placebo vaccine. So the placebo is basically fake. There's no antibodies. There's nothing in the vaccine. It's probably just water or saline. And so there's no proof that we have now that can actually cause infertility. Another problem that a lot of people have is that the vaccine was just created way too fast. Why is it that this was created in a year, but we've got all these other vaccines that are taking years and years and years to come out? Well, that has a lot to do with how the research is done. My husband, who is in an MD PhD program, is very, very familiar with how research is done. Upon asking him the process, he told me that it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money just to even get approved. And then once it gets approved, you got to go through jumps and hoops and all this stuff to be able to get the vaccine out. And that takes a lot of time and money. So whereas in this case with the COVID-19 vaccine, we had a whole world, not only our leaders, but we had the whole world in desperate need of a vaccine. So they were able to cut out all the other stuff that didn't matter, the time and the extra money and all of that needed to create a virus in order for them, the scientists, to get their job done. So in summary, it's important to understand that the vaccine can be scary. There are so many unknowns, but there are a lot of answers out there if we can just do the research and understand why the vaccine is important and why herd immunity is important for our community as well. In the end, getting the vaccine is ultimately up to you. No one can tell you whether you will or you won't get the vaccine. What is important to understand are the benefits and to do research on any claims that you read about that are negative and positive for the vaccine. In the John Hopkins article, I read this quote that I wanted to finish with, and I hope it affects you the way that it's affected me. Vaccines can't save lives unless people get vaccinated. Thank you.